Howdy folks, I'm a nice northern cardinal noisily nomming on nutritious nectarines.
I'm Amber.
And here are more nutritious nectarines for us to nom on.
I like how your lipstick goes over your hands when you do that.
Yes, specifically for that effect. Let's get started. Oh, and folks, there is a live stream happening on Friday, tomorrow. So please see the end of the video for more details. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a jerk for asking my sister to help me sort out some bureaucracy so I can get married? Many years ago, my sister and her husband moved to the UK from our home country and obtained citizenship. On a visit to our home country, her husband passed away. He wasn't found, but was presumed dead. My sister was devastated and never returned to the UK. I had some resemblance to her husband, and I was able to use his documents and his passport, admittedly without her permission, to enter the UK, and have been living here for many years. This was well before biometrics. The only downside here is that I have to use my brother-in-law's name and birthday, but that isn't too bad, as we were born in the same year and same month. I have finally decided to marry my current partner, and we are very serious about it, and live in the home that she owns. However, I am technically married. I told my sister about the situation and asked her to help me by first trying to get a divorce in my home country, as it's less organized and a little more corrupt, so they may not care about the death certificate, and if not, come to the UK and do it. I understand what I did was wrong, but it has been many years and I am now settled here, and she never wanted to come back here. However, she got really upset at me and hasn't agreed to help, and has been telling me that I should return to my home country and never go back as well. Alright folks, what do you think?
Yeah, OP, I definitely think you're in the wrong here. Like, stealing someone's identity is not a cool idea.
Yeah.
Like, this is your own mess you got yourself into. You don't expect your sister to bail you out.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this is really the crux of the issue is here. OP, you made a decision a long time ago. You could have come to the UK through legal means, and you could have done so in a way that would have been ethical. It would have taken more work, but you could have done it. I'm assuming. Maybe you have some kind of criminal background that would prevent you from doing that, and maybe that's why you did this. But I think that you really made some very poor decisions. The thing that you're asking your sister right now is very hurtful, because in her mind, she still, has some attachment to her partner who's passed away, right? And why would she want to divorce him?
Mm-hmm. Well, and if she's just learning now that OP assumed his identity too, on top of that, like, oh, my brother stole his identity and has been living as him in the UK all these years.
Yeah. So I think that this is actually a really terrible situation, and I think that OP, you've made a very serious error here, and I think that your sister does have a point by telling you to leave the UK and go back to your home country. And the reason why is because if you are found out to have committed fraud in this way, then you're going to be in a lot of trouble. Also, does your wife know, your fiance know about this? Like, does she know about your dark secret? Because I think it would be really awkward for her to learn that you've been married to somebody for a long time, maybe not even have told her. I don't know.
Oh, by the way, I'm married to my sister technically because I stole her husband's identity.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure that she would like that explanation. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for not wanting to pay my parents back? This may be long, so please bear with me. I'm a 30-year-old female, and my husband, a 35-year-old male, have been going through a really hard time lately. The company that he was working for went under. I had to go from being a stay-at-home mom to working overtime because he had an incredibly hard time finding anything else. We have 3 kids, a 4-year-old male, a 2-year-old male, and a 1-year-old female. We ended up having to move back to our home state and back in with my parents for a few weeks until our new home was ready. In a few weeks that we've stayed here, my mother splurged on our kids. She bought them clothes, children's furniture, a bunk bed, and a playpen. All in all, if I had to estimate how much she spent on our kids, then I would probably guess she spent about $1,200. Then Christmas came, and she splurged even more on my kids' toys. I would estimate another $500 for all of the toys that she bought them. My mother came to me a week ago, saying that she believes it's only fair if she files to claim one of my children on her taxes as a dependent so that she receives the money for it, and it would make us even. I was shocked. I'm not comfortable with anyone, not even my own mother, having my kids' information. I told her that as well, and she got angry with me, pointing out all the things that she has bought for my children and how it was the least that we could do for traumatizing her with our children during our stay. Some trauma if she's buying them all of this stuff. I told my mother that I wouldn't allow it, but she was more than welcome to total everything up and I would give her the money myself. She refused and insisted on claiming one of my children. The more I think about the whole situation, the more I don't want to even pay her back. Me and my husband didn't even ask or need any of the things that she bought. Not to mention, she's wanting us to pay her back for the Christmas presents that she bought for the kids. So Reddit, am I the jerk for not wanting to pay my parents back? Alright folks, what do you think?
Not the jerk, and I would say do not give your mother this information. She is trying to use you to basically scam money, like get money out of the government to take away the rebate that you would have gotten for the child. And if she gets the information this one time, there's nothing to stop her from filing her taxes first every year and claiming that kid. And then you'll get the notification from the IRS, oh, sorry, your kid has already been claimed. And then it's either you have to fight your mom,
Yeah,
the IRS.
I mean, Amber brings up a lot of good points. If she repeats this behavior and if you really want to report her to the IRS or any number of things, I think the whole traumatizing you with the kids thing sounds like a very fishy excuse.
It is. It's very gross and manipulative, and it's very clear that she did this as like a get rich, well, not like get rich, but get a big chunk of money scheme. Like, I'm going to take care of these kids for a week, spend some money on them, and then I'll just demand it back, and then I can claim this kid forever on my taxes.
Yeah, and I mean, if her motivations here aren't sincere, I mean, because like, it could be that if they make a lot of money, then it might be, in some ways, good for them to claim the child. And I'm not saying that this, I don't know the legalities of this or the morality of this, but if, for instance, she was willing to provide you with some of the tax return, then that might be mutually beneficial. But it also sounds like OP's not interested at all in providing her with this information too, and there's no guarantee that the mother-in-law would even share that money in the end if she did claim one of his children.
Well, I think the point is she wouldn't. She wants that money for herself.
So I think that there's something really deeply flawed here with what she's doing. Generally, in order to claim a dependent, you have to live with somebody for 6 months. And it sounds like OP hasn't even been there for that long.
No, a few weeks, but she thinks that because she threw her money around, now she can claim this.
And the thing is, like, you really don't want to commit tax fraud. The IRS will come after you. They will make you pay fees and fines and stuff like that. So it's really not good to be on the IRS's bad side. And if they see some abnormal behavior, then that's probably going to make you more likely to be a candidate for auditing.
Right, well, and that's going to be her argument. So you do it this year, the next year she's like, well, I have to claim the kid again because it's going to look strange if you claim the kid.
Yeah.
And, like, it's just not a good road to go down.
No, it is not. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Refusing My Sister-in-Law in Her Request to Baptize Her Child During Our Wedding? I dated my fiancé for 5 years before we tied the knot. I have a great relationship with his parents and siblings, except one of his sisters, the golden child of the family. She's annoying, but whatever, it's fine. I've been able to keep out of her way for the most part as her family lives out of state. So, my boyfriend and I got engaged and everything is going great with the planning with both sides of the family. Until sister-in-law at the last minute requested that she and her family baptize their daughter during our ceremony. She even called our priest and he agreed to combine the ceremonies. What? I said no for several reasons, none of which were good enough. And I was apparently being unreasonable and selfish. My reasons were Catholic, and our weddings are usually an hour long. Tacking on a baptism would either make the ceremony longer or take time away from our ceremony. Our wedding was an evening affair, and the reception was only going to be about 2 hours, so even if it lasted 30 minutes, baptism and the photos afterwards, that would cut our reception time down to an hour and a half. Her wedding/reception was a full day affair, for your information. The baby would be in the church, in the wedding photos, and at the reception, so seriously, who would focus on another wedding couple when there's a first grandchild nearby? Her reasoning, all of the family would already be gathered for our wedding, and it would be a good time for them, her family, to have it. And Shouldn't I be accommodating to a first-time mother? They'd only be inviting about 4 to 6 additional people to our wedding, strangers to us, and it would be easier on them because we'd already have the venue and food for their short guest list, which we would be paying for. It's the first grandchild and important to her family. I guess I wasn't part of it yet and not included in this sentiment. My fiance didn't have a strong preference either way, but supported how I felt on the matter. I stuck to my guns and I said no, but we've offered a compromise. We said that we would delay our honeymoon trip and they could have the baptism the next Sunday morning during Mass. I thought this was a great compromise, but sister-in-law is not thrilled. So that's what we ended up doing. But she still brought the baby girl in full white satin lace to the wedding and was front and center in all of the photos. And they brought their 4 to 6 extra friends to our reception without asking us first. We never made a fuss about it. My issue is this. I still get garbage from my sister-in-law, and it's been a couple of years since the wedding. Snipping remarks made when it's only the two of us around. Passive-aggressive comments in front of others. Bridezilla labels tossed my way. A cold shoulder when I tried to talk to her at holidays, etc. Like seriously, it was years ago, and she basically got what she wanted, so why am I being treated like I was a jerk? Am I the jerk? Edit to address some related questions. When this first came up, I said no, and my husband took over handling this completely from there. He worked with his mom and sister. I didn't have to deal with anything besides initially saying no. My husband was point of contact after that. Granted that we didn't know that she would still show up with her guests to the reception or know what her daughter would be dressed in. But at that point in time, we were just having a good time at a reception and were focusing on ourselves. I only figured out that she invited her friends when I saw the photos later. I don't know if she even offered to pay because I wasn't in the conversation at that point. It happened right before our wedding and Hubs and mother-in-law didn't want to stress me out. It was a short evening reception with a buffet. We had about 200 people in total. Her passive-aggressive comments in the following years were very subtle. If she said something rude, and if I or my husband called her out on it, which he did, she would claim that we simply misunderstood her. The rude comments or snubs she gave me directly in private, she would also claim that I misunderstood her, or I was blowing an innocent comment out of proportion. My husband has stood up for me, but our interactions with her are brief and only once or twice a year, so I'm not dedicating a lot of time trying to have a great relationship with her. She's a narcissist, and I refuse to give her any drama to feed her ego. It just struck me as odd that she hung on to this incident for so long, and I began to question if I might have inadvertently been the jerk, hence this post. Alright folks, what do you think?
Not the jerk. Absolutely not the jerk. It's very clear that this woman has to be the center of attention all the time. This was just a move to take the attention off of you. She couldn't stand the thought of you having a wedding day all to yourselves.
Yeah.
And it was a very unreasonable and unfair request. And she seems to have absolutely no regard for you, your side of the family, your friends. Like, trying to take a wedding that is for the specific group of people and make it about a child who at least half of the guests don't even know is a very not nice ask.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that she was wrong for asking. I mean, I think you can ask a lot of things and not be too far out of line. I mean, maybe it was out of line to ask, but I don't think that if she had just asked on its own that it would have been a terrible thing. But the insistence and then the snubbing afterwards and acting immature, and then on top of that, bringing extra guests to the wedding.
Yeah, bringing extra guests without asking, like, when it's on OP's dime, that's not cool.
Yeah, it seems like she was just trying to stick it to OP no matter what. And then having the kid dressed up in their, baptismal robes. This was clearly passive-aggressive. It's very much...
I'm going to have my way no matter what.
Yeah. And she wanted to ruin your day. And when you didn't take the bait, she basically just got angry that she couldn't, manipulate you emotionally.
And that's why she's held on to it, is you may be one of the only people who stood up to her in this way. Like, I don't know how the rest of her siblings are. It seems like the husband wasn't going to, like, if it wasn't for Opie, the husband wouldn't have stopped these antics. So she may just be used to it. Everyone always just bowing down and letting her be the star of the show. Yeah,
well, it does sound like she's the golden child. So I imagine some of it is that she just has always gotten her way and that she can do no wrong. And it's so unreasonable that she can't get her way this time. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
Which fruit is out of this world?
Now I can tell you exactly what fruit is out of this world. It's either star fruit or moon fruit.
Star fruit.
Yeah, I don't know if there is such thing as moon fruit, but I was going to make it up because it's still out of this world.
I was like, I've never heard of moon fruit. I have heard of star fruit.
Yeah, you know what moon fruit is? It's cantaloupe. I'm coining it now. So anytime you see a cantaloupe, because like they have that grayish kind of surface with all the little pits, it's moon fruit. So if you really want to have some moon fruit, buy a cantaloupe. But the one unfortunate thing about cantaloupe is that they just can't get married. And I have Mega Mint. Alright folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Friday, Junior.
Happy Friday, Junior.
Thanks so much to Amber for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please, have it involve stealing people's identities.
Don't steal people's identities. I know that may be kind of basic, but like, don't do it. It's bad.
Yeah, I mean, I can get behind that moral. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.